Hey guys, my name is Landon and I just got back from a 2-year motorcycle adventure where I took this KTM 500 and we had quite a fun little trip. I started off thinking I was gonna do a trip through Mexico, maybe about 4 months. Well, that trip ended up turning into 2 years where I went and visited every country in Central America and I visited every single state in Mexico, predominantly off-road. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know if anyone's ever done it before, if anyone's ever filmed themselves visiting every state in Mexico. In this video, we're gonna specifically talk and hit on 5 things. The first one will be, the most common question I get is, what gear do I take with me? Secondly, we're gonna cover how do I pack that gear? How do I distribute that gear through the motorcycle? Third, I'm gonna give you guys my top 5 favorite pieces of gear that I take with me. Then we'll discuss some gear that you don't need to take with you. And then lastly, number 5, I'm gonna talk about some kind of controversial takes that I have on the whole subject of gear and travel. So let's get into it. So number 1, I'm actually gonna start with how to pack your gear and how to arrange your gear throughout your bags. The way I see it, guys, you really have 4 places to put gear. You have like a duffel bag on top. So normally there's some sort of top bag, whether it's a backpack or a duffel bag. You have your side panniers. Then you have the front of the motorcycle. Sometimes people put gear on their fender. I've even seen it where people will put gear on their bash plate or down on their skid plate. And then most people have a tank bag. And then the last spot is on you, right? So if you carry a backpack or just in your pockets, those are the 4 main places you can put gear. And I'm gonna just quickly give you guys some strategies and some hints before we start pulling everything out that I think will shed some light and help you guys realize that there is a strategy to where everything is at. The more you can follow this, the more convenient, safer, and just overall happier you'll be on your motorcycle trip. So here are the kind of 2 fast, hard rules that you should be considering while you're packing your motorcycle. The first rule is keep your weight low. The more that you can keep your heavier items lower on the bike, the safer and kind of easier it is to maneuver and handle your bike. In my experience, the lighter the bike feels, the easier and safer that bike is. And so just to kind of give you an example, I wouldn't want to put my heaviest items on the very top of my bike right here. That's going to use leverage against me. And anytime that bike starts to tilt, I'm going to be fighting all that weight. Where if I can keep that weight a little bit lower, it helps the bike not to feel so heavy and therefore makes it easier. The second little principle that I have for you is, if it is too inconvenient to pull it out, you will not use it. If you have some fancy camera stowed away in a pannier and you have to play 20 minutes of Tetris, it's just such a hassle, you're just not gonna end up using it. So with that in mind, just remember that as we're packing our motorcycle, we wanna keep our heaviest items and the items we use the least at the bottom and work our way up to kind of lighter and more convenient items as well. Little side note, my top duffel bag, I try to prepare that in a way to where if I go into a hotel, everything that I need is just in one bag. And I don't have to mess with any of my side bags if I wanna just go in and relax. All right, guys, let's get into taking this stuff out and seeing what we have inside. We'll start with the front of the motorcycle, guys. In this case, I only have a tank bag. And so opening it up here, I use this bag as kind of just mostly a charging station. So I'll open it up. The first thing I have in here is actually a hat. And so it's placed upside down like this so where it doesn't get crushed so much. I've tried putting them in my backpack, but they always just seem to get smashed back there. And you don't want to have them in the duffel bag because, again, if it's too inconvenient, you won't use it, right? After that, I have my charging port. This is just a simple 2 USB charging port, and I'll mostly charge my phone. I got a cable for my phone and a cable for GoPros. I'm filming a lot, and so I highly depend on being able to charge my GoPros. Other than that, I really don't throw a lot of stuff in here. I try to keep it open, and so when I want to throw some snacks in here, I have room for those as well. And then on the top here, we have a little transparent thing where I have my paper map. Little side note, I don't carry this in my tank bag, but I just pulled it out so you guys could see. But I do carry with me a Apple AirTag that I have hidden on the bike, just to give it another layer of security to where I can kind of get some tracking on it if it were to get misplaced. That's it for the front. Alrighty, guys, zone number 2 would be the backpack and everything that I have on me. So we'll take this off, it's kind of hot. And I'll actually just start with my pants. So these pants just have 2 pockets on the side. So bringing these down over here, I have a little pouch, whatever you want to call this little guy, little sack of change. So here I keep all my little change. I have my knife. My buddy Cody gave me this, Cody Wendell. On this side, I keep GoPro batteries. Well, normally I have like a couple in here, and then as I'm using them and pulling them out of my camera, I'll move them to that tank bag. And then I have my AirPods case. Sometimes I listen to music while I'm riding. I try to be disciplined with it because I do think, you know, it's not good to always just be inundating ourselves with just noise and music and have time for quietness. So I try to use that as like a treat, normally at the end of the day, around sunset, or sometimes I'll listen to audiobooks. But I don't have like some fancy jacket, not because I'm against them or anything. It's just mostly, I just didn't have one when I left. They're kind of expensive. The pants, like, you need the pants. These have vents right here. So, these are game changer, but in terms of like a jacket, I just don't have one. Let's go to the backpack. This is a Climb Arsenal 15 backpack. It's hard to tell because I just have the front like so pristine right here. But yeah, this baby I got about the same time as I did the bike. So we're going on about 4 years with this thing. It's been a great backpack. Let's open this one first. This has got a lot of stuff in it, guys. Starting right here in the back, we have toilet paper. Sometimes when I'm feeling really cheap, I just go to restaurants and I just use napkins if I like run out. Not one, but 2 headlamps. One breaks, I got another one. My trusted little spoon fork, Sporky. Angle of attack right here, these are great. I got a little GoPro POV mount. I have my Garmin InReach, another little knife, lighter. I have some stickers to pass out to the kids. I have a picture of my dad, another lighter, some Sharpies, sunscreen, and there's like some chapstick in there. Other than that, I also have my missionary plaque from when I was a missionary down in Mexico. I started this 2-year trip with the intention of visiting every state of Mexico. I served a 2-year service mission down there. And so I have a lot of love for Mexican culture. And part of that trip, I was gonna go through and go see all the people that I had met at that time. And I wanted to have this just so they could maybe remember me. And this actually was a great conversation starter piece for some times when I was having little interviews with the cartels. So they're always like, oh, you know, and of course, they're all very religious and they love seeing that. So a little bonus tip for you. Oh, let's keep it all out right there. Oh, I also have a spare key for my bike right here. Moving on to this pocket. This pocket right here, guys, is kind of like my junk drawer. I mostly have just like tons of random electronics. Like there's just some, like this is for like traveling in Mexico City. It's just like, it's got a whole bunch, here's some money in here. I don't even know where this money's from. Freaking Belize. Junk drawer. It has lots of just random cords. Normally, I don't have them with me right now, but normally I'd have like my phone charger cord, like the actual block one that I plug into a wall. I like having some of my charging stuff handy because if I pull up to a restaurant, I want to get some stuff charged, I can do that while I'm eating and then I can hop back on the bike. I spend a lot of time camping, and so I kind of depend on being able to, you know, do that conveniently. So again, having it convenient. Then this pack has like a little kind of tucked away spot right here. And up here, I pretty much carry all my money. Whenever I make a withdrawal out of the ATM, I'll put half of it on me. I'll always have half of my money on me, and then I'll have another half of it on the bike. And then I carry my passport as well on me. After that, we go to the main pocket. And this, I just have a little tripod that I can film myself with. As you guys can kind of see right here, we have like a water bladder. And so I can drink water. This holds up to 3 liters. And then I just try to keep this mostly empty. I like to have a little water bottle, an additional water bottle in here. Sometimes I'll throw like bread in here and peanut butter and just snacks that I can have more readily available to me. And then on this side, I have my wallet. And then on this side, I normally keep my phone. So that's where I have my phone nice and handy, if it's not on my mount for my bike navigating. All right, guys, so yeah, that is everything that I keep on me. Let's tuck this baby away. And now, guys, let's move on to the duffel bag. Okay, guys, we have a couple things. This I keep connect it to the straps kind of on that bottom packet. And so these are my tent poles. Put these right here. And then let's open up this duffel bag. Starting at the top, remember I try to keep things light. I have my rain fly. If it gets rainy, pull this baby out, it keeps me pretty dry. Again, I didn't have like the motorcycle gear. I just left with the gear I had. I use this for, skiing and different things. And so I just brought it because I know it works good. After that, my tent. It's not like folded up. I literally just stuff it in there. Alrighty guys, the next item we have right here is this little brick. Take a guess what's in here. It's nothing crazy. It's just my clothes. I won't show you guys everything because you don't need to see my socks. Just give you an idea for some pieces. I have like some shorts. So there's some just black shorts. I have these joggers, which are really nice because it lets me have like some form of long pants. Jeans are kind of tricky because they take up a ton of space. They're cotton, they hold moisture, and they're kind of heavy. And so I like those because they look kind of nice, and I have something kind of long I can wear. Here's my little towel. It's just a little microfiber towel. I like it. It's, again, it doesn't hold moisture, and so it does really good. And then the main thing I gotta show you guys is these babies. Just look at how yeeted and gonzo this sun shirt is. I use these things like crazy. This is the back. So I have worn holes in the back, and you just can see the sun fade. I use these while I'm riding. It's got the little thumb holes, so I can put these in the thumb, have my gloves, and then the wind isn't blowing up my sleeve and giving me a sunburn. And then you have this little hood on. So you can use these all over. I've hiked tons of mountains with these, and so I love these. After that, I just have, like some socks and underwear, more kind of like gym style shorts as well. Then we have a drone. I have this little electronics box. This is filled with just a whole bunch of different kind of random electronics. I have my computer charger normally in here, external hard drives. I don't have everything in it right now, but my secondary piece of AirPods. Yeah, so that's kind of what's in that little electronics deal. Here is my main electronics little bag. This zipper's kind of failing. These are the two main hard drives I use the most. And then I like using a mouse, so I have one of those as well. This little bag, it just has like some change and kind of like, I keep little souvenirs in here. I like collecting coins, and along with it just has like some more cables. Then I have this little collapsible backpack, which I have used a lot. And then at the very bottom, I keep my laptop. Inside this as well, I also have a little folder where I keep like all the bike documents, all the tip permits that I pull, and so that's where those live. In the bottom right here, I'll show you guys, I have also put in a liner that helps give this bag some rigidity. I'm pretty sure it was like from a sign that I borrowed when I was in high school, like those giant monster cans that you would see at gas stations. But it's that plastic that's really light, obviously, but holds firm. You can see even just after thousands of miles, it's done a really good job. That's what kind of gives this some lightweight structure. So that is everything that I keep in my duffel bag. Alrighty guys, let's move to the passenger side of the motorcycle, the panniers right there. We'll start off with this guy right here. This is they call this kind of like a bottle holder. And then we'll do this bigger one. So literally all I carry in that little bottle holder is some oil, an oil rag, and my air filter covers. These are PCP racing filters, and so I'll have these all oiled up and clean, and then when I want to just swap out a dirty one, I'll just throw a fresh one on. This bike has a really short oil change interval, and so I always try to have a good amount of oil with me at all times. Okay guys, next one is our side pannier right here. Let's open this baby up, and I will start bringing it over. First thing guys I have on top, my tent tarp. Again, lightweight, bulky, that's up top. After that, I'll bring these two together. I have a tool set. We'll kind of keep those right here, and we'll open those up here in a little bit. In this little dry bag, I have some emergency food. These panniers come with this weatherproof liner. I kind of stopped using it a lot because it doesn't really expand very well where those do. And so to be able to fit a few more things in there, I don't put everything in this, unless I know I'm gonna be going into some rain. But even a lot of times I've had it to where these bags in rain without having stuff in, it hardly gets in, guys. So I just kind of stopped using this. These are the last 3 items. So this was at the very bottom. This is like my oh crap tools. And then after that we had this pack and then our tube. So this is a spare tube. It's a 21, so it can fit front or rear tire. And then we'll open up this little guy. This stuff stack I've had for years, so it's crying to be laid down to rest. In here, guys, I have a jump starter. It's pretty cool. It's got a little light on it. That way if my bike dies, I have a way of saving myself. Then I have some clothing items in here, guys, that I just don't use as often. So mostly this is like my cold clothes. So I have this little REI liner. Then what I normally do is I put like a layer of clothing and then like weird shaped stuff and then a layer of clothing. That way it kind of compresses nicely and it doesn't destroy the shape of these things so much. Then I have the jump starter's cables that would connect to my battery. I always have with me some oil filters. And then we have this baby. Oh, this guy right here is the best base layer you can get. This is the Patagonia R1. This thing is incredible. I use this ski touring and that keeps me warm. Then I have a pair of leggings. And then at the very, very bottom, I have these parts, which are like some wheel bearings. I have some like some seals, wheel bearing seals. I have some oil filter stuff, an allotment of just different O-rings. Here's a counter shaft seal, I believe, and just different kind of heavier metal parts for the bike. And so yeah, guys, that is everything I keep on the passenger side of the bike. We gotta beat the sunlight, guys. The sun's going down. Shoot, guys, I almost forgot. I was like putting everything away. I forgot to open up the tools. This is probably like one of the biggest things some of you guys really want to see. Okay, so we'll open up the like, oh crap, something happened tool first. In here, first thing, this is a Warp 9 tow strap. So if I need to get the bike towed or just have a long piece of rope, I have this. On this side, I have kind of like some elastic straps. These are made by Trailbound. They have these little clips that can go to the front so I can strap things to the front of the bike if I needed to. I have a roll of like duct tape. I normally put a little pen cap and then I roll a whole bunch of duct tape. That way I don't have like this giant thing of it, but I can still have duct tape. And so there's some of that. Got a little deal to break my chain apart if I need to do stuff with chains. I have flint and steel. This is to drain my oil off so I can catch it cleanly. I have some Loctite. I have a whole bunch of zip ties right here. JB plastic weld and JB steel weld. And then on this side, I have a whole bunch of stuff for patches. So I can patch my tubes. Here's the little cement for it. And again, I have a whole bunch of different parts in here. This side, I have a whole bunch of like bolts. This is an assortment of all different kind of bolts that I could need for my bike. Fuel filters, just all different kinds of little goodies in here. This little toolkit is the one I use the most. Here I have my Torx set. There's another zip tie. So right here, this is the little toolkit that comes with the bike. The only thing I've added is just a little Phillips and flathead screwdriver. I like this. It's really kind of sharp on the end, so sometimes I'll use this as like a pick. I also do have a pick. And then I have Motion Pro tire iron, so I can take the tires off and fix flats. And those are all the tools I've had. And it was plenty. Like, I didn't ever have a time when I was like, dang, I can't fix it. Let's move on over to the driver's side panniers and see what we got going on over here. So again, we'll start with our bottle side. So this is everything that I had in that side of the little bottle holder. This is a cover for the bike. I have a big ratchet and socket. This is kind of a long story. It's not ideal to carry this. This thing weighs a ton. But I ended up damaging my axle to where I had to rethread it. And so my stock nut that went on my bike no longer works. So I had to buy a different one. And then anyways, I had to buy this. I have some paracord, and then also I have some kind of strapping that is common on my bike. Nothing broke on the bags, guys. So would I carry this ever again? Probably not. Also because a lot of times you can just order this and at the end of the day, you're gonna be okay, you know? So I don't think I would carry that with me again. That's everything on that side pannier. On the top there, I have my shoes. These babies are just like dusty. Look at that, guys. Like, man, these are giving like homeless vibes, like, hey, can you spot me $1 kind of vibe. Then I have, this is a Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite. This is my sleeping pad. I have a pump. I think the way to go is hand pump because you don't have to worry about, you know, something not being charged or something breaking. This is just solid, guys. It's gonna work, you know? Then in this little pocket, I have my Chacos. Kind of torn on these, they weigh a lot. I don't know if I'm gonna go to like a sandal, just like a thinner, lighter sandal option in the future, but I'm kind of torn because they're just so like versatile. Like, I don't know. For sandals, they kind of take up a lot of space and they are heavy. These are our last two items. We'll leave this one at the end because it's covered. You guys can probably guess what this is. This is my sleeping bag. It's a Nemo Forte long, and it's rated for 35. A lot of times this weather rating is not enough. And so I just layer up. I throw the R1 on, I'll put the leggings on, I'll even sometimes leave these pants on, socks, all the layers. And that is how I survive in like, below freezing temperatures with this sleeping bag. I don't know if this is like super high end, but in the future, I think I would like to, I know they make them like a smaller pack size. And so I think I would like to get something a little bit smaller, but again, it's the one I had and it did the job. And then right here, guys, do not laugh at me when you see this, but I straight up stole a pot out of the kitchen, guys. This is my little pot, this is my gas, and there's my little burner. I just have a way of cooking simple foods. I don't get crazy with the cooking. I found that I rarely use this, guys. In terms of food, it's just like, man, you're traveling in a foreign country. If you're going on a foreign trip, it's just like, I want to eat the foreign food. Like, so a lot of times I'll buy food in town right before I'm about to go camping. And then that's kind of what I do. So I do think it is nice to where like in emergency situations, you could purify water by boiling it. So we'll see if I carry something like this in the future, but this is kind of what the setup was. I guess this is just a burner. It just screws on right there. And that is almost everything. There's only one little spot left, and it's this little pack right here on the back. And so the thing that I have in that little pack right there is my toiletry bag and these two little locks. I spend a lot of time alone, guys, and so I'll try to camp out as much as I can, but I also like to go see cities. And so whenever I go to cities, I stay in hostels, and it really is helpful for me because I can get kind of that social interaction, and I really enjoy that. And so that's what these are for. A lot of times hostels will have little cabinets where you can lock away personal items or like electronics, and so I keep those in there. All right, guys, that was all the gear that I literally took with me on a 2-year motorcycle trip. It sustained me. Maybe it seems like a lot, maybe it doesn't seem like a lot, but at the end of the day, it worked out, guys. Now we're gonna go into number 3 and talk about my 5 favorite pieces of gear out of all of this stuff. Coming in at number 5, guys, the sun shirt. I already talked about it, but these things are just so useful. I will never not go on an adventure without one of these. Coming in number 4 are noise cancellation headphones. I used to be a hater. I'm not even gonna lie, I used to think these were totally overpriced. Why would you need them? I can use cords. No, guys. One of my favorite things to do is when I get to a new town, new city, I put in my headphones, I block off the noise, and I listen to like some Hermanos Gutierrez, some like chill music, and I just walk and explore. Also, if I'm in a hostel or in a busy area, I can use the noise cancellation and feel at peace. I can calm myself. Amazing. Number 3, guys, is a tent. Man, if you're gonna travel like thousands of miles, go explore all these places, like Wouldn't you want to be in somewhere like this, camping out? One of my favorite things to do is to camp in a new area, be outside, and I would consider the tent 100% essential. I will never not have a tent with me. At number 2, my favorite pieces of gear is gonna be the Rocky Mountain Tusk luggage. For the price, guys, it is just insane how long these things have lasted and the use that I've got out of them. And coming in at number 1, guys, my favorite piece of gear on the entire bike, and the thing that I would consider that I use the most, I promise you, you're probably not gonna guess it. It's this frickin' little bag right here, guys. My buddy Jordan Velarde gave this to me years ago. I didn't know it was gonna be like the most important thing, but like, look at how many times I have patched this and just made it last forever and ever. Look at all these little patches in it. But I'll tell you why this is so important. The first thing I do when I get to a town is like, I want to go explore and I need a backpack, right? So like the one that I'm wearing while I'm riding, I don't want to have to like get rid of all my stuff and then put in my day walking stuff. And so I pull this little guy out. I throw a water bottle in there. You can go do a little grocery run in this. You can go buy some clothes. I use this all the time for doing my laundry. So I'll throw all my dirty laundry in this. I'll get to town. I'll take it, I'll give them the bag, and I'll go get it back. So 100% I would recommend getting a bag like this for your travels. So yeah, this right here, the thing I use the most, hands down, this little bag. Alrighty guys, we're coming into the home stretch. Topic number 4, what is kind of some gear that you don't need on an adventure like this? In my opinion, you can be sold so much dumb crap. There's infinite scenarios of just like things like, I might need this, oh, that might be nice. Chairs. You do not need a collapsible chair on a motorcycle adventure. I thought I would use this. I never used it, guys. I just sat on the ground. I found a rock. Why would you need this? The answer is you don't. You don't need stuff like this. Another thing I found kind of inconvenient was Nalgene bottles or hard bottles like this. The problem with this is that it can never shrink. And so it doesn't matter if you have that much water in or it's completely full, this is how much you're hauling around. Especially in places like Central America and Mexico, they don't have like culture where you pull up to a gas station and you fill up water. Pretty much everywhere you go, you're gonna be buying a plastic bottle of water. And so I just found that those were so much more convenient because when I was done with them, I could crunch them down and then I just have kind of more space and I feel a little bit more freed up. The third thing that I really didn't use that much was actually the motorcycle cover that I showed you guys. I probably used that thing maybe 3 times in 2 years. When I did use it, it was very helpful, but I just think for how bulky it is, and it's actually kind of heavy too, and for how little I used it, I don't plan on carrying one of those with me again. I think you can buy a tarp, you can use your tent tarp. I originally had brought it thinking that I would go to like, I'd leave my bike in a city on the side of the road and then I'd put that cover on and that'd give me security. The reality was, it's just, I wasn't leaving my bike on the side of the road. At least in Mexico and Central America, it's very easy to find accommodation that has like a garage or enclosed private parking. And so I just really didn't use it. And the number 4 thing that is just gear that I don't think we need anymore. And again, this is no hate, this isn't any shade. I'm not saying that I won't use this ever in the future, but I'm just saying it's not something you have to have on your motorcycle trip. And that is things like this. This is an $800 GPS unit. This is a Trailtech Voyager Pro. It's awesome, it's great, whatever. In today's world, you can do all your navigating off of a phone. A lot of these newer phones, guys, even if they don't even have service, they're still pulling GPS. Just some sort of little phone mount, and you're good to go. If it's in your budget and you wanna have a fancy GPS, that's awesome, that's great. I think they're cool because you have another layer of security where if this breaks, you have a way of navigating still. And so I like that. But the reality is like, if you're on the roads, you're probably gonna be okay and you can do all the navigating off your phone. So I would not say that a fancy GPS is like an essential piece of gear that you have to have. All right, guys, we're running out of daylight, so we gotta wrap it up. But The last point I'll talk about is kind of just a controversial take I have on some of this, and it kind of has to do with this idea of worshiping gear, and a little bit also of just that you and I are being marketed to. All of these brands and these things we've seen today, their job is to make sales. Their job is to bring in revenue to feed their family. That's great, that's awesome. The problem is we have a culture now where we are obsessed with gear. And it's funny because I know this is a gear video, right? I'm showing you all the things I have. Just don't get trapped, guys, to buy things that you don't need. And also just getting trapped in this cycle of just constantly acquiring and chasing the next little piece of gear. And then I'll be ready, and then I'll be ready, and then I'll be ready to do. At the end of the day, you can never consume all of that. You can never satiate that. And so my tip and advice to you is to just go and do. All of these things that we just showed today, they're just tools. This bike and these things don't have a monopoly on the actual thing that we're trying to get and achieve, which is probably that feeling of exploring, that feeling of adventure. Notice it's all feelings. This is what we're actually trying to achieve, right? See new things, experience. This bike makes it easier for me to access adventure, but it does not hold a monopoly on it. And so if you have a motorcycle, just take that motorcycle, go out and have a great time. If you have some crappy janky tent, it doesn't matter, just take it and go out. If you're in a financial position to where that doesn't matter, that's awesome. Get the best of the best, go out, have an awesome time. And so that's the controversial take. Do not let these companies that sell all this stuff make you fall into the trap of that you need that next thing. You don't need it. Just go out and have an awesome adventure. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I'm gonna be releasing a series of videos of all the things I learned from this 2 years of travel on the bike. And of course, we're gonna go on another adventure. And so hit that subscribe button to follow along, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.